A lewd comment about Ivanka Trump on Fox News is the latest incident for a cable network widely condemned for tolerating and even encouraging an internal culture of raunchy sexism. But for those quick to dismiss the frat house mentality as unique to Fox, it might be worth considering how women are treated on air across the industry. Earlier this week, Fox News host Jesse Watters was discussing Ivanka Trump getting jeered at a women's conference in Germany.
And I always thought the Europeans were supposed to be so sophisticated and well-mannered.
That turned out to be an ironic setup for the ever-juvenile Watters to drop this in.
I don't really get what's going on here, but I really liked how she was speaking into that microphone.
Watters maintains his sexual reference was anything but. However, it's par for the course at a network where there's never enough leg shots, tight-fitting dresses, or stupid innuendo.
Doesn't waxing hurt?
It does. She looks at me for that.
Truth is, female anchors face demeaning treatment across the industry. Case in point, this recent exchange on MSNBC between Joe Scarborough and co-host Mika Brzezinski.
You're comparing Ivanka Trump to Bobby Kennedy?
You don't have to be so snotty.
No,
I was
I'm
about to
just
say,
curious.
you didn't let me get it out. You don't have to be so rude.
Well, no,
The fact of the matter is that they are not Bobby Kennedy, as I was about to say, but you wanted to get your cheap shot in, so you got your cheap shot in.
Let's face it, there's a long list of female hosts who've complained of shabby treatment. Ann Curry, Melissa Harris Perry, Katie Couric, Connie Chung, and most recently, Kelly Ripa, who demanded a conversation.
About communication and consideration, and most importantly, respect in the workplace.
It's enough to make you wonder if we're still in 1976, when ABC's Harry Reasoner gave his new co-host an icy reception.
I had a little trouble in thinking of what to say to welcome you.
You haven't come a long way, baby. All right, this was a lot of... I was stunned by that. Callie, you watch Morning Joe. I can't tolerate it, but that is the way he treats her.
That's right.
He's abusive and dismissive, and that to me is every bit as offensive, if not even more so, because it speaks to your intellectual, you dumb idiot, than some of the sexual, content. And I mean, nothing. He tweeted out some half lame apology, and that was it.
I've been watching it so long that he was still married when I first started watching it. And his then wife used to call in and he'd say, uh-oh, that's my wife. I must have gone over the line. And he would rein it back in. But there is no holds barred. He's been doing it to every guest on the set. But she gets a particular whipping boy. Yes. And I actually had an occasion to meet him years ago, and I said to him, I don't really like that. And I'm a regular watcher. So it's fine. I'd like to hear the conversation without that. And he said, well, something to the effect of she allows it.
No, I remember you telling me that she likes it.
Yeah, something like that.
They have an off-air relationship as
well. Is that true?
I don't know if that's true.
I don't know about that.
They sort of confirmed it a week or so ago.
Yeah,
they did, because that's one of the reasons they gave license for him to speak like that, because husbands and wives or boyfriends are likely to snap.
That wasn't always the case, though.
Right, no, this particular exchange felt like a continuation of some kind of conversation that had been happening before.
That morning.
What I loved about it actually was that, TV is a visual medium. All you needed to do was see the look in her face and the way she looked at the camera and was like, this guy, and all sympathy was with her. I mean, she didn't have to say any more. But yes, I mean, and we see it on Fox and Friends. We've seen it in
Friends for sure.
So many different
Steve
shows. The dynamic of the guy who is the dominant figure and who can just go poof to the woman who's next to her. And then what do you do in real time? Do you yell back at him? Do you just do the Mika thing and raise your eyebrows? It's a really hard thing to do when the cameras are rolling.
Yeah, it is. I think one can say that Fox News is still a unique environment that takes these issues farther than elsewhere. I mean, they have I don't think there is another network, or at least cable news network.
Well, that was MSNBC.
I don't think there's another that tolerates the same degree of on-air sexism and off-air harassment that Fox seems to. Yeah. That said, it's not as if sexism is limited to that one network. Even beyond the issues that we're talking about, you still have 3 evening news anchors who are men. Late night television is still dominated by men. When CNN was on the cover of a Hollywood Reporter a few days ago about being the future of news, it was 5 men who were there. These sexism is real, and it happens across the industry.
All the networks have all these rules now about what you can wear. You got to wear dresses. You got to wear solid colors. You got to wear form-fitting. I mean, You got to get a memo about your clothing recently? No, the guys don't get that.
No.
They may tell him to wear a collared shirt.
Yeah.
If I got a memo about the way I dress, it would be this long, I'm sure. I agree with Joanna about the exchange between Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. I mean, how do you know that Joe Scarborough is losing an exchange when he's talking?
Yeah.
I mean, he does not do well for himself, and it wasn't just that all sympathy went toward Mika. I think everybody looked at this and said, this guy's a complete jerk.
Yeah.
How does she put up with having to sit next to him every morning?
On camera and off.
Yeah.